Well, folks, we are live and in the studio here at Grishino. It is another beautiful day. The birds are singing and the sun is shining. Today we have uh, Petrock here with us. Wondering when he's gonna call in. Is he?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, Petrock, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. What about you?
I'm doing fantastic. Just got back from a barbecue from a friend. I'm sure you heard about it from '07.
Ooh, well, how was it?
It was pretty good. I had myself some a nice beef steak and watched a couple fights here.
Delightful.
Yeah. What have you been doing recently? Anything fun? Anything interesting?
Mm. I've just been running around with Worm, having some fun.
Mm. Hmm. Well, before we start the interview, is there anything you would like to ask me?
Um, how did you get the idea of this little news show?
Well, I've always had a knack for talking, for, having a charismatic personality. And a lot of times when I talk to people, I ask them, really interesting questions from what I've heard from, feedback at least. And a lot of people told me, Mobster, you need to start like a show, your own show. And I thought,
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe sometime in the future. And then, friend invited me to SOC, and then I saw that there was an actual radio. And when I joined SOC, I actually started playing DayZ, and I was just realizing that there was actually like radio that you could do. And I was like, holy shit, this is actually really interesting. So I decided to start my radio channel the moment I got into the server. But the thing is, I couldn't figure out like how the radio frequencies worked on
Hmm.
DayZ. So I just decided to do it on Discord, and it's working perfectly. Um, Much better than if I did it, on the DayZ radio. But yeah, honestly, it's very successful. I'm liking how it's going. So
That's great, man. I've been loving your show so far.
yeah, yeah, I really like that interview with Big Worm. Great guy.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's a man's man. All right. So this is sort of a mandatory question that I ask everybody when they
Hmm.
get into the server, um, or when they get on the interview. But what is your story? How did you get into Chinaris?
Well, to be honest, I just kind of like I swung along here. There was not a lot to do around the time. I was pretty new to everything.
Hmm.
So I found my way here as a friendly start to learn everything.
Hmm.
And it's helped me out so much.
Hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, have you joined a faction yet, or
Nope, I have not joined the faction yet.
really? Well, what sort of put you off against that? Like what? Like,
It was more of like it kind of limits to what you can do. Like
yeah.
you like whoa, my bad. The instant you join a faction, you can have like factions have enemies too, but you don't want to have enemies with everyone you don't know. You want
Exactly.
to meet the people first.
Right. Is if there was a faction that you wanted to join, which one would it be?
Well, from what I've heard, the 14K has been pretty nice. Like
Really?
I've only done like three main factions. That was the Mafia, the 14K, and the Bloods. That's like the only three I really just know.
Really?
Hmm.
Have you like ever considered like joining like Task Force Reaper or Blackout or Guardia or anything like that?
Well, from what I've heard from the NP, nobody really seems to like them.
Really? Well, I get
Yeah.
that. I can understand the same sentiment. There's a lot of, you know, anti MP talk going around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um there's a lot of um discord between sort of the freedom fighters of like 14K, Delta Force, and then like between forces like Blackout or task force. Why do you think that is? Do you think that there's like any way that the two sides could like sort of live in, you know, like sort of peace?
Well,
Because right now, the way I see it, it's more of like the government fighting against warlords. And I'm not trying to put down 14K, but or like any other faction, it just feels that way to me. Seeing all these like different sides fighting against each other, and like
yeah.
each faction trying to claim their own bits of land. I mean, right now, GRS and Blackout are at a war. So like, what do you think a possible solution for this could be?
Well, it's just about that DMP can have about almost everything. As for just like the average survivor has to really work hard for what they want to get.
Mm, mm,
So, like, let's say an MP loses a gun or something like that, or his clothes, wouldn't be a problem for him. But like, let's say me, I'm like a normal guy, right? Like, just a gun alone before the economy reset was 20K, and
right.
that's like over almost a half of what you start with.
Mm-hmm.
So it was that's probably the main reason for it.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm glad the economy reset. Actually, it's
Why is that?
I don't know. I just inflation. All right. So as a hobby, I study economics, right?
Hmm.
And inflation is like one of the biggest problems an economy can have. And I feel the SLC economy was extremely inflated. Like as you said, like a gun costed $20,000, which is it's not good.
Hmm.
If you read a lot of modern economists like Hazlitt or Bastiat, they often denounce. Well, pretty much any economist will denounce having more money at the consequence of having lower value. It's called the mirage of inflation. It's like,
Hmm.
look, I have more money, but it's worth less, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see that kind of like slow down a bit. And with the total economy reset, you don't have any more money, but your money is worth more. On the
True.
on the topic of money, you put in the interview request channel that you should be on this server or on the interview because you went from like what 50K to a million in a week. What's that story?
Oh man. So it all started when I spawned in and I went down the road and I met some really nice people
Mm-hmm.
and they led me to I think it was Big Worm's base and he really gave me a warm welcome to this world by showing me like what there is to offer and he also gave me a gun, some something to protect myself with.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we went down to the dealership to go get a car, and I got the ball rolling. I got into taxi. I started driving people around,
Mm-hmm.
and that's I was really it was going really successful. But there was one thing that went really bad at one point, and that is I got kidnapped, brutally kidnapped, robbed, and murdered, and at that point it all kind of went downhill until I came across a giant opportunity to go sell guns out of the back of my car.
Mm.
Now these guns were stolen. I've That was completely my own business, and I've stolen them, and I was selling them at like 20% cheaper than black market price, which attracted so many people, got me up to money so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time that I've gained a little popularity, I was going for like 5 hours.
Mm.
I got robbed again in the safe zone itself.
Really? In where in
Mhm.
Starry or Vibor?
Story.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I was really tricked because it was like there was this guy with this little kid voice. I was trying to help him out. I felt bad for him. He had a buddy, and he shot me in the leg and ran off with a car full of goods.
Damn.
It was horrible.
Do you know who they were? What faction they were in?
For as far as I know, they're just a nomad. It's just one guy just running
Really?
off somewhere.
Really? Huh.
Hmm. But then Nick helped me out, got me back on my feet, and now I am Now I'm just trying to make do.
Hmm. Hmm. Are you still finding that success you once had, or has it been a struggle since the economy reset?
It's really been a struggle because it's harder to get big amounts of money now.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can sell stuff for like I'm pretty sure less than, so like getting up to the huge number of 1 million would be a lot harder now.
Well, yeah, but as I said, at the same time, your money is worth more that way.
True, but what about the big milestone?
Well, the big milestones are now they well again they've decreased in number. They're still milestones. Like 100,000 on the server, it's still a massive achievement. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I get that. But you're longing for that 1 million.
Oh, that way you miss your money.
I miss my money, man.
No, no, no. Don't become obsessed with the means to an end. All right.
That's true.
Money will come eventually. All you gotta do is put your head in the right headspace, or have the right mindset, and do something you're really good at. Like again, for instance, with this radio show, I I'm good at talking, right? I'm good at talking to
Yeah,
people. I exploit that. I use that for money, and I'm making pretty good money off of this.
true.
So it's just like little things like that. Like I get a sense for you. You were pretty level-headed and down-to-earth guy. You could use that. You could even be a politician. Run for governor. Run for president. I mean,
No,
we
I'm not gonna run for president now.
why?
But
No.
mm,
Oh,
I'm
because
I'm
of your
I'm
because of
I'm
big worm
yeah,
or
worm here.
yeah. I get that.
I'm
I
I'm
get
I'm
that.
I'm a good. I'm like buddy with him. I'd say. I hope.
Would you
But
say
I'd
he's
what
your closest ally on the server?
close. I wouldn't say like here's the thing. There's not such a thing as closest.
Hmm.
Like there's multiple people who are the closest to me and who have helped me out so much on my way that I am where I am and I stand where I stand.
Mm-hmm.
But there sure are some people who are really close to me and I admire or I aspire to be like them.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm guessing you're gonna vote for Big Worm. I'm pretty positive Big Worm's gonna make the primaries. Honestly,
He no, he's gonna win.
you think so?
I know he's going to.
Really?
I believe in it, man. I believe in it.
I think it's gonna be pretty close this election. Honestly.
Between who?
Well, I'm running.
Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, you've been getting a lot of like a check mark thing, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of thumbs up. So it's going to be actually pretty close.
Yeah.
Do you
I
think you're gonna win?
I don't know, man. I think me and Big Worm we're both like very strong candidates. I have mine. I have my talents. He has his. Both are pretty
Hmm.
strong for president. It's just got to come down to who we support because I'm more leaning towards the MPs and Big Worm's more leaning towards the freedom fighters. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be tough. Honestly, I
But
still have
what?
I still have
Yeah.
massive respect for Big Worm. Like just because we're not allied politically doesn't mean we can't be friends. I like the guy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be close.
But what are your plans for Chinaris?
Personally, my plans is simply just to stamp out corruption in the government because I there's a lot of puppetry going on both
Yeah.
sides, both the MP and the freedom fighters, which I don't like. A lot of judges, a lot of lawyers, a lot of governors being bought out and
Oh
used
no.
by these factions. Again, both sides,
Hmm.
which I don't like. That's not good for a country. And well, I don't have the solution of a franchisement of a taco stand. Uh, I can certainly say I am going to make changes if I make the presidency. Again, I'm not going to fix everything. I would be a liar and a fool to say if I could fix everything, but I
Hmm.
can definitely stamp out the corruption within our government. Big Worm, I think, is more on the civilian side of things because,
Yeah.
as you said the other day in our interview, that he wishes to get rid of the poverty and the hunger and the thirst. and of Chinaris, and that's where this sentiment of what he describes as franchisement, which on the surface sounds silly, but I think it's actually a really smart solution to a problem. I mean, look at America. What happened when people got hungry? McDonald's brought up, and now pretty much in America nobody's hungry.
True.
And I think I think B and Big Worm are both going to make a lot of changes. Again, I'm more on the political side. He's more on the civilian side, but yeah. How
Yeah.
However, it is time for an intermission. We are just about halfway done.
Already?
Already, I know. I love talking to
Oh
you, man.
man.
Well, folks, I am Mobster Lobster, and we are interviewing. Uh, sorry, Petrock. Your name keeps blanking me. I don't know why. We are
It's
interviewing.
okay.
We are interviewing Petrock, and we will be right back with you shortly. And we are back, folks. Lovely intermission.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Was awesome.
It was awesome. So, you mentioned that you are struggling for money,
Hmm.
to make money. Do you have any plans of starting up a gun running business or, entrepreneurship
I
or?
should try that again, right? It worked out for me once. It should work out for me twice. But
Hmm.
here's the thing: if I get caught selling under black market price, I could be punished
Hmm.
now, and that seems like a really harsh thing to get done to me for
Yeah.
trying to help out the people.
I heard that the construction workers need some. I heard the construction workers need some hands. Do you
Yeah.
think you would be interested in that?
Well, what does it like include? Do I have to build things? Do I have to make a whole structure?
I mean, I would assume so. I've talked with a couple construction workers. I mean, they just sort of like go around doing contract work for people. I mean, you seem like you seem like a pretty handy guy to me. So,
I love to help out everyone I can. That's the
hmm,
thing.
yeah.
So even though you could probably find me around driving Novi, Starry, maybe even Cad, I would always love to help everyone out. But if I'm caught up in construction work, it's kind of hard for me
Hmm.
because I can do almost everything that somebody needs me to do.
Hmm.
I'm not that hard to convince. That's a bad thing, but it's also a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You could try to do a sort of like a charity work. 'Cause you said you like to help out around. I mean, you could do like a humanitarian thing.
And should I? I could start a business. But that, at the same time, would it really help out the people if it's a business instead of like going around and help?
Hmm.
Because then you would have to pay for a service, and now you have to,
Right.
it's not, doesn't get the same raw experience as to meeting me at the at the place at the time, having the full experience.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You
How would
could
you go about that?
go about what? Being like starting a business?
Yeah, if you weren't doing radio.
Right. So what I would do is I would find a problem, find a way I can fix the problem, find a way I can make money off of that problem, and then go from there. Um, so like this, I for the radio, I saw a problem with like the regular disunity of Chinaris, and I think it would be better if we sort of got together, and instead of stop talking to each other with these episodes, we could come to understand each other more deeply. That was sort of the problem, this sort of separation that everybody's going through.
Yeah,
Um, but I could, what I could possibly do, is I could get hop in a car, right? Get a car, and then
yeah,
drive freshies out of safe zones or like to wherever they need. Sort of like a glorified taxi service, but
yeah.
not that expensive because they're probably starting out or whatever. Sort of just immediately getting them out of danger, sort of thing. Um, I mean that or
Getting people to like you.
hmm. But,
Basically, like getting people to like you and to know you, so you can easily be recognized as a good guy.
well, I mean, I think the radio show is doing pretty good for that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Sorry, my cat is just knocking something over. Could you stop that? I swear to God. I fucking
My
hate
bad.
this cat. I'm gonna put her down. I swear to God.
Oh
Uh,
my god,
stop. Stop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
dude, you
Uh,
good?
she just jumped on me.
Yeah, yeah. Get that thing out of the room.
Get the fuck. All right. Sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, you there?
Yeah. No, we're good. We're good. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, I would just try to just recognize a problem, and then go about that and see if there's a way I can make money off of that.
That sounds nice.
Rebel, put the cat down live.
You saw it?
uh,
Oh my god.
uh, but yeah. What do you think is the core problem of Chinaris?
Honestly, sometimes it's the people. And I don't, this is not a call out to anyone specific, but sometimes y'all can be dicks.
Mm,
I'm just saying. Like, there's this one guy specific, I'm not gonna name any names, but he told me to race him out of safe zone, and then he ran me into a sign.
really?
It was horrible. It was horrible.
Mm,
And then he demanded 50K, but luckily, the MP was there to save my ass. And that was the time I was grateful for the military police, just that one time.
mm. Have there
And
have there been
yeah,
any other? Sorry, I interrupted you.
no, it's good.
Sure. Um,
I didn't even know what I was gonna say next. Go.
that's fair. Um, w- has there been any other hostile interaction with the MP?
There was there was just one time that I was driving. There was this dude. He was really nice. He was driving me around in his car, but he had weed on him, and he
Mm,
got searched.
mm-hmm.
And I know I'm making this sound like a huge drop's about to happen, but I paid his bill and we went about our day. But the most hostile interaction I had with the MP was around the taco stand when
Really?
I got well, everybody was it was kind of chaotic. My buddy Pete got held up for a grenade launcher. Car was crashing. I had a grenade on me. There was pox everywhere. It was like a whole battlefield. It was horrible.
Hmm. They just sort of rolled up and started searching
Yeah,
everybody and.
yeah. I don't know it. I don't know. I've only been searched like twice.
Hmm. Well, I think the problem of people, being searched is a little bit over bloated, you know, because as the military police, they have a right to, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I think um, a lot of people are saying that a big problem in Chinaris is the military checkpoints. When you're just driving or walking, that Task Force Reaper or really anybody of the coalition will just stop you and sort of search you. I don't think that's that big of a problem. I think it's just meant to keep Chinaris more, safe and secure. Secure. I
You're right about that. But
I do,
how come the MPs can have grenade launchers, man? That's like a tool of war. That's not something you should have as a policeman. That's something you
but
use
they are military.
to it's military, but if what type of war are you defended from to have a grenade launcher from?
True. Oh, they can no longer have grenade launchers though.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I think Nick. Was it Nick
Horrible,
who?
horrible, horrible for them. But that's great for us.
Mm-hmm.
But
Huh.
I guess my point is no longer valid, but it used to be. So
I do agree that there needs to be sort of a little bit of a, sort of put down on the whole search thing, like in terms of like force, like as you said, like they can just like roll up and do whatever,
yeah, you could be minding your business. You could be anywhere, and in a
Right.
second,
But again, the point is they have a right to search you, and again, the force should be lowered, as you described at the taco stand. But again, they have a right to. So I don't really see it as a
yeah,
problem. It's only a problem if you have something to hide. You know.
yeah, I have nothing to hide.
Well,
I
that's
have
good.
nothing to hide.
That's good. I don't want you getting hurt.
No, no, sir.
The interesting wording that you used a couple seconds ago when you said that's better for us that they're not using it. Do you think in Chinaris it's sort of an us versus them mentality?
Sometimes, yeah, it depends on if you're in a faction or not, or if you just like hold a grudge against anyone or the police in
Mm,
general.
mm, mm. Yeah, I get that. I think that's a big problem, especially within politics. An us versus them mentality is very dangerous because
True.
once you stop communication, right? And this is again a problem that I said I wanted to solve with the radio show. Sort of bringing people back together. Once people are um, disunified and they're disconnected from each other, they start to bring about rumors and start to bring about slander upon the people who they deemed an other, and
Yeah,
that's how violence becomes justifiable. But an us versus them mentality makes them out to be the problem. And when you have a problem, what do? You need to fix it. And in this case, an us versus them mentality means get rid of the problem with force. And that is not safe. That's not safe for a country. That's
yeah,
not safe for a
it could be a
culture.
war.
Right, exactly. That's how the Nazis gain power. That's how the communists gain power. And
It's like blood versus script.
exactly. Most large scale genocides or atrocities were committed through us versus them mentalities. And that's just not healthy for a culture. And I think, um, when I'm president, I'm going to sort of try to solve that issue, try to bring both sides together as best as I possibly can.
That's beautiful. That's truly beautiful.
Well,
because
it is beautiful.
yeah,
I just feel like it's more common sense because it's one thing to try to be a good person and sort of bring people together. I want to do that, and it's another thing to do it. And it's much harder to do it than people give it credit for.
true. But if you get it done, get it done. It's a it's, it's gonna be a while to get it done, but it's gonna be a huge achievement for whoever does it first.
Hmm.
And if they do so, you'll be put in the history books.
True. True. Well, Petrock, we are just about out of time.
Wait, please, before you end the show, I gotta ask you one more question.
All right, ask away.
What's your favorite flavor M&Ms?
I'm gonna get some flack for this, but milk chocolate or
Milk
chocolate.
chocolate.
Yeah, just the
The
regular,
brown one?
the brown one. Yeah, just regular sort of chocolate in the middle. I don't know.
You don't like the blue?
I'm not. Oh, like what color or?
No, like the crunchy one, the peanut one, with like the one with chocolate in it.
No, the chocolate one. Yeah, just plain regular milk chocolate. That's my favorite.
But the crunchy one is so good though.
Yeah, but I people are going with me on this one.
Oh my god.
I
I'm the wrong.
I never liked peanut butter. Honestly, I never liked peanuts. Really, I mean they're okay, but just chocolate beats peanuts in my opinion. Chocolate beats crunchy.
You're not a big nuts guy?
Not a big nuts guy. I mean, I'll go for a good cashew every once in a while. Don't get me wrong.
True.
But like peanut butter, I never liked peanut butter. Honestly,
So you don't fuck with Reese's,
I don't fuck with Reese's.
to be honest. You're right. But what about the caramel one?
I do like caramel. Twix is my favorite chocolate bar, but I think
Dude, I love Snickers.
I feel chocolate or caramel is like the best when it's paired with chocolate. So if they made like a chocolate caramel M&M, that would be my favorite.
Dude, they did.
They did?
They have they have been.
When?
You've been missing you've been missing
I've
out.
been missing out.
Dude, it's the best ever. It's like top two for me.
Damn. Well,
Even
again, I gotta end the show, dude. I gotta end the show.
yeah.
Is there anything you would like to say before I end this thing?
Um, Oof, it's tough. Should I end up with a tough quote?
It's whatever you want, man. It's not my quote.
If you can't do a backflip, you gotta keep practicing. Figure out what that means.
Nice. Thank you.
Goes hard.
Goes hard. Well, folks, that was Pet Rock. I am your host, Mobster Lobster. Thank you for the very third episode of the happenings of the Survivor. Again, next time, I don't know who we're interviewing. I don't have anybody scheduled at the moment. However, it's probably going to be Destroyer 1470. Until then, everybody, I have been your host, Mobster Lobster, on the happenings of the Survivor, and I will see you later. Bye, Big Worm Stockos.